The slight chance that my short will upload because they got fed up. I put a few of them from dated in 2022 just to show the statistics. I stuck to that year and they're close on my memory card. So I've been going through hell, and the worst of it is not what I show you. That's statistically impossible unless they willingly follow, at least follow and harass. You don't see them harassing me. When they were harassing me or coming too close or this, that, I did not record, or some of them I did, like when the SDM sort of sneakily injected me with something on my hand. It's not an attack, but it was like flashing the light, intimidating me, and grabbing my hand, like just rubbing it with some kind of, it's hard to explain because like if he would have grabbed my hand, I would have said it in the video. But that's why they use sneakiness. They don't make it obvious, like, like in some cases they lose it, but they pretend to say, well, that person had to be restrained, so we hurt them or killed them. But that's in places where they know the person has a habit, or that they're all agreeing and they're all, you know what I mean? But with me, they have no reason to follow me. And I've said it for years now that they follow and attack me even sneakily. It's only 3 years about, more or less, that they sneakily attacked me. And you saw the one with the police of 9 minutes or something, that the guy is there and he has glasses and he's skinny and young, and the glasses didn't really suit him. I think that was a tech thing to attack me. But I know I got attacked on my forehead because I took away my, I thought he was really looking for someone that looked like me. I know it's naive of me to think after 6 years that when the police is close to me, it's a coincidence. But because for me, a coincidence would be if there would be a coincidence, and the rest, it's all synchronicity of evil acts towards me. And the idea that now recently I put one of 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes, but I don't know if even it's going to upload. Right now I'm recording while it's, because when it's something of 2 minutes that takes more than 5 minutes to upload, it's being blocked somehow. And because I put 3 of them from the past, just to show, because before I go out now, even though last time I went out, I didn't see that many vehicles like in 2022, or like even that time at McDonald's, which was in early April or something like that. It's just that they hurt me, and I got one in the back of the head, and like I still feel like a needle mark. It hurts when I touch, and that can only be recent because I don't know how they did it, because I'm always well dressed. So when they come close, they could go through my clothes or something. I don't know how they do it. They detect when I'm not perfectly, because it hurts like something, it hurts really like a scab inside, like a needle, like, when you get a splinter, when you handle wood that has splinters, and deep behind my neck. How would I get that? I'm not playing with wood. I'm not playing the part of Jesus. I am a reincarnation, not a reincarnation of Jesus, of a chosen being tortured. Because this is why they're getting away with it. This is why they do go through the trouble. They have nothing legal on me, technically, even before they started locking me up or you know what I mean, following me. They have no reason to hate me, to be mad at me. I did nothing legally against Apopex. In the past, it was just to tell them to warn me, at least for pesticides. And yes, I was a little bit more, asking for money, this, that. Now I'm not asking for money, even though I technically could. But the thing is, at least that they stop. No, they think they could continue hurting me till I either go to psychiatry or that they make up, like with the new law coming out. I'm probably already going to be locked up. This is why I'm doing one that's longer. It's just right now I'm all over the place, and it's like I'm lacking food and water, and I have to go out. And it's not that I fear, like, oh my God, but I know every time I go out, they attack me. Every time I went out in the last couple of weeks. And sometimes they get me easier. Not that easy, but they get me even more potently because I let down my guard. Because when I go out, there's not a lot of police or this, that. But even if there is, what could I do to defend myself? They could go through my clothes. You know the kind of tech they have? It's disgusting that they use it with civilians, and even legally. Advanced tech like the CIA gadgets, or the ones that the Montreal police is using against me, or the whatever department. I know that time you saw it, the one I showed, it was even a uniformed personnel. I showed 2 ambulances back to back, just like police, how they work when there's some kind of emergency. There's 2 of them. So it was 2 ambulances. Usually they don't waste 2 ambulances when there's already less than 400 or 500 that they need more to have emergency reaction for when people are ill, right? So they shouldn't be 2 in the same spot just patrolling. They had no sirens on. That's why I showed that one. I try to make people reflect. Snowplows, they said they were missing. They weren't even on the street doing their job this year, but with me, they were everywhere. So it's like, and trying to run me over. How much they were trying? Not much. Or I don't know, because like I said, I don't know how it is with a vehicle to run someone over. It's not that easy as people think. But again, if they're going fast and if you're near the sidewalk, it's pretty easy. If you noticed me when I was recording, sometimes I'm always near buildings. I'm always away from the sidewalk. Not because I think they're going to run me over. But then again, they could still do it and say it's an accident, a police car. I don't know if they're allowed killing me, but I mentioned it in a short. I don't know, because frankly, my dear, I don't trust them anymore. Would you trust a hospital that when you go see them injects your body instead of making just checking your vitals and giving you a paper for the attacks they already did that they're denying, and that the hospital doesn't want to check under my skin when it's irritated? They said, no, we're not going to check for that. And they tried to send me to freaking the Jewish general. I'm going to go there and say, hey, my mom was part Jewish. You got to do the tests even though it goes against the police. I would use that card if I was evil. But even then, they won't listen, because it's not about being Jewish. You have to be a Zionist Jewish person to be with AIPAC. AIPAC is bigger than the States and Canada and their conflict, because everybody here, just like Anthony Housefather, everybody here is for destroying Gaza. Everybody's here for conquering, and some extremes probably, maybe there is even on other nations. It's like saying, I don't agree with Russia, but I don't agree with Ukraine too. Nobody wants peace. Nobody wants to make a fair deal, saying, no, we're not going to join, we're not going to do things against Russia, because technically, under the covers, they want to crush Russia. They want to crush China. Who knows about China? But I know Canada is pretending to be friends and letting them invade us just to be friendly. That's not right either. Making threats to China or Korea, North Korea, is wrong by Canada or the States or whatever other nation. But chumming up to them too much to invade us because of money or because of business is wrong too. That's what the elites are doing across the world openly. But I think, and like if you see some of my spiritual videos with who controls the world, it's deeper than governments, even deeper than democracy and Republicans and socialism, communism, Nazism. It's beyond any leftist, rightist, and middle politics. There is a corruption that is so big, and I see it in the eyes of the officers and the undercover people. There are so many against me. Every time I go out, even though I'm strong psychologically, because now the weather, and I think they did inject some kind of virus, because there is already going around. Every time I go out, when I don't feel well already, I feel like my body is obviously, it's like I know that I don't have the ability to protect myself against, I don't know, I don't want to say what number I think they could send around me. But of course, they know I have the courage to defend myself. But how do I defend myself against tech? They're just going to pretend like they're people that they have to pass near me. And this is why the population explosion and traveling by metro and thing is more dangerous. They easily get poor people, because if you have to travel by bus and metro, and even taxis, they could easily weaponize them, meaning replace them. They give any excuse, and the taxi company has to listen to the police. They deputize, but really it's criminalize. So I'm sure at some point, I don't want to say what I think, but they follow my, obviously, once they got me in a taxi, they could easily zoom in on the taxi. Once they see the license plate, they know, well, they see even by my phone, even though I try to, because I either record now that I have one phone, because I don't have the budget to have many phones, to have burner phones, to have police tech to follow and record them. I can't do that. I don't have the money for that. So that's why when you see a video, it's not done in a I don't follow the police. Even once an officer, and he was a nice, even, and he goes, stop following the police. Stop recording leave the police alone. Yes, I'd like to leave you alone, police. I'd like to leave you the F alone, just like you should leave me the F alone. Because legally, spiritually, you are in danger of being at one time interpellé by a higher, whether it's a higher legal on planet, a 3D, or a higher legal or spiritual real government that's going to take over the planet. This is the only thing that you see in common with all the New Age, the real ones, not the extreme, because there are, of course, religion is 99% messed up, but anything that's not extreme, everybody reports, yes, there's going to be more truth coming out. Even the people with Project Looking Glass, he goes, whatever they tried for future scenarios with these weird electromagnetic pulses on mirrors, seeing the glass through the future, nothing they did would stop the love and utopia from happening. So I have good news. But will I see it in this body, or will I ever see it in a lot? Meaning they're interrupting and making my life in a way, because it's almost like as if I'd be dead, they wouldn't know exactly right away which body I'd reincarnate to. But I don't want to dare them to kill me because, of course, you think they worry about my health? No. So many times I said it, my heart felt so bad, and they gave me a new injection that made my heart feel. So this is how I know they don't love me and they have no limits. Well, yes, I'm not going to lie. They have limits because what they injected in me could have killed me. Because once it goes under the skin, I'm sure but maybe they are scared. The doctors are, I don't know why they don't do it. Maybe it's not allowed to kill me, but why would they? This is another question I want to show the people that do take my side, because what I'm saying now, they can say, look how Kakai, he's dangerous, because if he thinks we want to kill him, he might hurt some of us. Everything they're going to twist, especially in the month of May or June at latest, that law is coming out with the psychiatry. But how do you fight psychiatry when you can't? Before, there was even a way that if I knew, I could have contested even while I was at the hospital. But that's why they take away your phone. They don't want. This is why we have to be on the street. If people don't see me, and they could, I'm sure, just like Jim Carrey, you'll know if it's me or not. If I'm saying things that don't match with this, even if they would improve, I'd say, well, like sometimes for a day or two, I say, maybe they're not going to actually attack me. I saw them a bit there, but last time at the beginning, for an hour before I was out, a half hour, I didn't notice them visually with marked vehicles and even people undercover too much close to me. But then they zoomed by with little, like a trottinette. It's like a scooter, but with two wheels, not a scooter like a Vespa, a scooter like, I don't know if that's how you call them, the trottinette in French. So they came by speeding 200 miles an hour. I'm exaggerating, but approximately from 30 to 40, in between 30 and 40 miles an hour. That's not normal on a sidewalk that you could, if somebody would have moved, because they chose, I don't know if they had some kind of training, obviously, but if somebody would have moved, they could have even blamed me to attack people that I think are, because what if I would have moved? Because sometimes I do move erratically to make sure I check because like I showed people in the other one, the back of my, bottom line is, I'm all mixed up to explain. I'm not confused, but it's confusing to digest all the horrors they're putting. And yes, that's why I'm putting the ones with karma. I'm not even allowed hating or even saying, I curse you, or saying karma, because karma, they might switch it into a religious shit. But I'm not religious. I'm just energy. And when someone hurts you, if you're not even allowed by law to defend yourself, we're not living in the right planet. We're not living in a system that's not a slave. If they would say we're in a military slave system, people start accepting it. And if they'd say that on the news, again, I wouldn't say that they have a potential to do that anytime soon. They might do that in 2035, 2040, but not in 2026. They're not ready to do that because there's so much honesty. If they would go that much, they would have a lot of pockets of people contesting and trying to change the laws, or voting in, or doing private governments, or living off grid. Who has the money to do it? You're welcome to try, but they have laws to get you even there. But what I'm trying to say is that whatever happens to me is going to happen to you in a big formation. Or if, you know what I mean? If it goes on, if it doesn't stop with me, that means they don't want to compromise by 2030. They want to make sure it's worse, or they want to take the planet down. Meaning is, when I tell people I wish for nuclear war, it's even their wish, because there is no way by 2032, for sure, it's being ushered in. It doesn't matter if it's Jesus or not, or Buddha, the same soul reincarnated in India. That's one of the possible timelines that people talk about. Even gurus, some of them, Sadhguru Nath, dare to say that more than once on the internet. I'm not saying I agree or disbelieve, even with aliens, but it does make sense aliens exist from the reports from people that have actually even killed some. And this is what I mean is, why would they lie? And some of them disappear or die after they say it, just like me. I started filming the police, I got locked up twice. Do you think that's a coincidence? All my life, I never got forced into psychiatry. So if people don't see the videos of the police and me being slammed to the floor by police with a warrant that was illegal, obviously, it was a monstrous brutality of Bill C-63, but now they don't even need a warrant. Come May or June, I'm gone. Or even if I'm not, I'm predicting it, so it's going to look more planned and more that I contested, since I don't know if I could pay for or get a pro bono lawyer, or have even like groups that could protect me against this. There's not many. I don't want to mention them again, because what I'm saying is that what I'm living is beyond credible, and that's why they bank on that. Even though you see them there, they're going to say, oh, there's more police presence. Yeah, no, but who could show me, if anybody would show me the amount of police dated, provable on the SIM card or the phone memory, that the frequency is like me. I would do whatever they ask me, meaning I'm exaggerating to make a point that that it's not statistically possible. So when officers dare tell me, oh, we're here, it's a coincidence, it's just a lie. It's just a way of saying, well, we're criminals. They can't say that, so they say it's a coincidence. Shut up. Go back in line, man. You're crazy. Or of course they're gonna say something like that. But it takes a lot of courage, and sometimes the face, even the ones that are confident of lying like that, the eyes don't lie, even though they're not scared. Some of them and the ones that are more nervous around me, sort of bothering me or attacking me, whichever or both, are the ones that have a chance not to be gone, meaning not to be reabsorbed and forgotten by source. Because if you want to do what you're doing to me, it's a crime, police, that is not imaginable, and I cannot even imagine, even by aliens that are materialistic and disgusting, that eat babies' lives. Even by them, if I try to meditate myself into their theory, I still wouldn't be messing with someone like me. Never mind the karmic danger and even a revolution start. So meaning it's stupid even if the world does become a dictatorship by 2030, because you're going to get people to revolt and cause you problems, my dear Montreal. So no matter how you slice it, hurting me does not suit you. You had your fun, you won, you broke me, you PTSD'd me, I'm gone, I'm dead. Humanly and socially, nobody wants to know anything from me in a social way. The ones that are logical enough to know that they don't need this shit in their life that I fell into. And I'm gone, meaning is you brutalized me so much physically and with the psyops that even if you stop, I'm always going to be the rest of my life sort of tortured like a war veteran that's messed up. But not messed up like that I can't function, or I wake up sweating, or I attack people. No, I want to be clear on that. Messed up knowing that I know the world does not exist. It's a slave monstrous system that if they could, at the present time, I'm not talking about 2030 now, because by then it'll be more love and justice and truth. Truth is going to rule, not whoever has money and guns and makes shit laws like their brain and like their soul is shit. That's all I could say, police. To do what you're doing to me, if I'd be doing this to you, police, would that, first of all, it's not possible. But how would you feel in my place? This is what I want to leave everybody with. How would you feel, whether you're a civilian or people from Apopex or enjoying their status to do this to me? How would you sleep, or how do you intend to go into that long goodbye towards even if you don't believe in an afterlife, how are you going to be with yourself, knowing what you've done to me? You should be, even though I don't believe in shaming, you should be ashamed of continuing. Not if you stop, you shouldn't be ashamed. You say, fuck, you realized you maybe have the potential to have a soul. Because right now, anybody hurting me, I don't even know if they have a soul. I'm not trying to insult. I'm just saying, how could someone with a minimum of compassion do what you're doing to me? How? That's my biggest question. How?